Good afternoon, Mozart families. Mr. Burson here with a very exciting announcement that on March 22nd, we will be returning to school in the hybrid learning format. That means 2 days a week, students will be on campus, and 3 days a week, they will be learning from home. Through this presentation, I hope to answer some questions you might have, but please note that if I don't answer all these questions, you can contact me or you can schedule a tour during the week of March 15th. I will be inviting all families to campus using a sign up genius. So please, if you want to find out more and see what campus will look like, please look out for that email and that sign up genius coming out shortly. Our number one goal at Bohn Elementary, and usually for all educators, is to ensure our students are educated in the safest, most effective way possible. As sharks, we are self-disciplined, honorable, ambitious, resourceful, kind-hearted, and successful. We ask that if you're not feeling well and you may or may not have been exposed to COVID-19 or another respiratory illness, that you give us a call and refrain from coming in if it is your day to come in. We want to make sure all of our students and staff are safe, thus keeping our families at home safe. So please, if you're not feeling well or you're in doubt, stay home. You will still have the opportunity to learn from home. All right, our in-person students every day will need to conduct a health assessment to make sure that they're feeling tip-top and they're not feeling sick. We ask that you arrive no more than 15 minutes prior to the start of the day because our gates won't be open. We ask that you are prepared to wear a face mask throughout the entirety of the day. That goes for all students. And we ask that you bring the following: a school-issued laptop, a laptop bag and charger, and any instructional materials the teacher might ask you to bring. Please note, some teachers might ask you to bring more materials and some might ask you to bring less, but it is important to bring any materials that the teacher asks you to bring. There are two options that will begin March 22nd. That goes for all kindergarten through 5th grade students. Please note that regardless of what option you choose, you will keep your teacher for the remainder of the school year. The first option is the hybrid learning model, where students come on campus 2 days a week and will do distance learning 3 days a week. And the second option will be students learning from home Monday through Friday as we are now. Students in the first hybrid option will have two groups. We'll have a group A, where students will come Monday, Thursday to campus and will learn from home Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And group B, where students will come to campus Tuesday, Friday and learn from home Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Once again, group C students will stay at home Monday through Friday and do distance learning from home. Start times will be as followed. Kindergarten will start at 8 a.m. 1st through 3rd grade will start at 8:30 a.m. and 4th and 5th grade will also start at 8:30 a.m. Kindergarten will be dismissed at 11 a.m. 1st through 3rd grade will be dismissed at 11:30 a.m. and 4th and 5th grade will be dismissed at 11:45 a.m. Depending on what group you are, this would be your schedule, and we will let families know prior to March 12th, what schedule group you will be in. Obviously, if you have chosen the distance learning only model, then you will be group C. Physical education and music will remain virtual in the afternoons. There may be some slight changes or time changes, but please make sure that you check your team's calendar for any updates from Ms. Topher or Ms. Cordova. Resource, speech, occupational therapy, and adaptive PE will remain the same. If there are any changes, that you will be contacted by your service provider. Before coming to school, we ask that you do a quick health check. That holds true for all students. We ask that if you have a temperature of 100 degrees or higher, that you stay home. Fever or chills, a cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle or body aches, headache, any loss of taste or smell that's new, sore throat, congestion or runny nose outside of what's normal for hay fever season and allergies, nausea or vomiting or diarrhea, or any new onset of a severe headache, especially one with an elevated temperature, or any other COVID-19 related symptoms that are not listed. We ask that if you have any of these symptoms, you stay home and you contact the school and let us know. If someone does test positive in the classroom or there was a potential exposure, we will make sure to notify students and families. We will not give names, but we will let you know if there's potential exposure, as we want all of our students to make sure to quarantine if recommended by the CDC. All right, drop off. If you will be dropping your student off in the drop-off parking lot, we ask that you please follow the directional signs, the ropes and cones to make sure we keep it as safe as possible. We ask that you pull all the way forward to the drop-off area and do not release your students until they get to the drop-off area in front of the office. I know if we are sitting in the car and we are over by the multi-purpose room and we're not moving, we might feel tempted to release our students from that car early. But for your safety, your student safety, and our staff safety, we ask that you please follow the rules and wait to drop your student off until the designated drop-off spot. If you are walking your students to school, there are two locations where we ask that you drop students off and do not pass. That is just right before the drop-off spot on Mount Diablo and the drop-off spot indicated here by Altamont Street. And we ask you to make sure that you abide by the signs posted that ask you not to pass this point. If you are a parent, we are trying to minimize traffic on campus. Please also note that the staff parking lot is parking for staff only. It is very important our staff have a spot to park in so they can get to class on time and instruct your students. If you do need to come onto campus for whatever reason, we ask that you either park on Mount Diablo and walk up, or that you come and park during non-drop-off or pickup times. Like I stated earlier, please follow the signs. There will be a sign to pull forward and where you can drop your students off. It is very important that we all abide by these rules for safety reasons. Walking and drop-off pickup are the same, but as indicated by these arrows, there will be signs asking you not to pass if you are not a student, and we do that to minimize traffic on campus. And please remember that Bohn sharks are kind-hearted, so please be courteous, drive safely, obey parking lot signs, and remember you are a role model. Your students and other students are watching what we do, so please follow the rules and keep things positive. So what to expect when students are released from your car and walk to campus. At 8:15, our gates will open. The main gate entrance by the office, which leads into the hallway, will be opened, as well as the multi-purpose room gate will also open for students to enter the blacktop. Once on the blacktop, students will find their classroom number and their cones with signs indicating that that is their spot to line up. Most students will be brought into the classroom by 8:25 a.m. So if they get here at 8:15, they will only have to sit or stand for the maximum amount of 10 minutes. So we ask that students do not walk around campus. There will be helpers guiding them to their correct lines. And we ask that they wait there, socially distance, until their teacher comes to get them. Prior to walking into campus or walking into the classroom, students will have their temperatures taken. Any student with a temperature of over 100 degrees will be sent to the office and placed in a quarantine room until parents or guardian pick them up. There are reminders throughout campus reminding students the importance of washing your hands, stopping the spread of germs by covering their mouth with their elbow when they sneeze or cough, making sure they wear their masks, making sure they stay socially distanced, and regularly wash their hands with sanitizer or soap. In addition, we have signs on the ground and throughout campus to minimize the flow of traffic in certain areas and to make sure we have one-directional arrows so students are walking in one direction to and from the classroom. We are also asking that students not go through the library at this time, but go and enter classroom on the outside of the class. Each desk in the classroom will be spaced 4 to 6 feet apart. Some classrooms will have less students, meaning there will be more space in between, but all desks will be a minimum of 4 to 6 feet from any other desk. All classrooms will also have desk shields surrounding their desk to prevent the spread of germs. Teachers and paraprofessionals will also have desk shields on their desk. Students will have individual cubbies as well as individual supplies supplied by the school. Please note that sometimes students may have to share materials, but those materials will be placed in quarantine buckets after one student use. And just because we can't give high fives or hug our friends and teachers and students, we want to make sure that we still encourage excitement when we see one another and greet each other with a wave, a verbal hello, a foot bump, point to your face and smile, or a really cool ninja move that we created. It is important that we show appreciation for one another. Just because we can't high five doesn't mean we cannot show appreciation for our friends, our educators, and ourselves. Many things will be different, but many things will also be the same, like the fact that Bohn Elementary is the coolest place in the world. We love our school, we love being Sharks, and that will not change. Because of that, we want to make sure that we follow all school rules and that we ensure that they will be discussed regularly and reinforced. We also want to make sure that our classroom behaviors are discussed among classrooms and that we understand that when we disrupt the class, we are taking away from our learning and our classmates' learning. And parents will be notified in the event there are concerns, but I know my Sharks and I know that we are here to learn and we are going to have fun and we are going to respect the rules and one another. And daily procedures, our students will have recess, which is exciting. We will have time to eat a snack, get some fresh air, and walk around and play. Please note that the playground structures will be off limits, but we will have some equipment for students and which will be disinfected after each use. Students will be able to use the bathroom, but only 2 at a time will be allowed in. The door will be open to allow for airflow and it will be disinfected regularly. For the younger students, para-educators or other staff will help escort students to the bathrooms. They will be sectioned off by classrooms, so only certain classrooms will use certain bathrooms. And as a reminder, all students, no matter what grade, will need to wear face masks throughout the entirety of the day. Students can wear face shields as an alternative, but they will need a cloth covering over their face in addition to the face shield. And as much as we love parties, classroom parties, birthday parties, parties because it's a Wednesday, we cannot have classroom goodies at this time. So please keep the cupcakes, candy, pizza, and chips at home. And maybe soon we will be able to have those back, but for right now, we ask that you prevent from bringing those in. We will, however, still celebrate with much excitement our friends' birthdays because it is a special time of year, and we want to make sure our friends still feel special on their birthday. And as always, our students will be washing their hands regularly and will probably be so sick of washing their hands, but we will make sure that we are washing hands regularly. And when we're not washing hands, we will be disinfecting our hands with hand sanitizer. All classrooms are fully stocked with soap and hand sanitizers, sanitizing wipes, and paper towels. There will be no excuse in the book of why we can't wash our hands. And just in case, we will make sure that we instruct students on how to wash your hands appropriately, making sure we get in between the fingers and the fingernails and our palms and the back sides of our hands. And we will be doing that before lunch, after lunch, leaving the classroom, coming to the classroom, randomly throughout the day, and sometimes just for fun. And please, if you have hand sanitizer that you like your students to use, you may be able to bring that for your students. And like I said, only 2 students allowed in the bathroom at a time, and we do this to minimize the amount of students in the bathrooms, but they will be disinfected throughout the day, and we will make sure to space it appropriately so that students don't have to wash hands next to each other or use the facilities that are directly next to one another. And we all need water, but our water fountains are not available for use at this time. So we do ask that if you would like to bring a water bottle, you can do so, but please know we have cups in the classroom for students. They are single-use cups, so they can get a little drink of water and throw it away. And we all know how much elementary students love to get water. It seems to be the thing to do. So make sure your students are hydrated. And if you'd like to bring a water bottle, you can, but it is not necessary. We have plenty of cups for our students if they get thirsty 7 or 8 times an hour in class. And after a fun and exciting day at school, it will be time to leave. Our kindergarten students will be walked out to the main gate at 11 a.m. after picking up lunch. And our 1st through 3rd grade students will also be getting lunch and then be walking out to the staging area in front of the office, or brought to the bus loop if they have the bus. Take the bus at 11:30, and our 4th and 5th grade students will also be getting lunch and then be walked out to the staging area in the front office, or walk to the bus loop if they have busing services. So I went over that already. There is pre-packed lunch and breakfast available for all students. And students who will ride the bus will be walked to the bus loop, and students who will be picked up in the car line will wait for their name to be called by a staff member. Students who are walking home, biking home, skateboarding home, hoverboarding home, roller skating home, however they're getting home other than bus and car, will need to have a note from a parent stating that they will be walking, biking, scootering. No student will be able to leave campus by themselves without that note on file, and we will not let students ride their bike home or skateboard home without a helmet, because helmets are very important, and we want to make sure our students are as safe as possible. So please make sure your student has a helmet with them before riding, biking, skating, or rollerblading home. Pickup procedure for the pickup line and walking pickup will be the same as drop-off. We ask that students wait for their parents or guardians at the pickup line. As you enter the parking lot, you will be stopped at a checkpoint to make sure that you have a name tag with your student's name and grade on there. We will then call your student on our radio to the staff member watching the classrooms. We will call your student to the pickup line, where you will pick up your student from that line. We want to keep this process as seamless as possible, so please make sure that you follow all the rules that are posted, and make sure you work with the staff who are trying to get your students in your car safely. Please do not get out of the car. Please do not attempt to pick up your student as they see you waiting in line and wave to you. We know that they're going to be excited to see you. We know that you're going to be excited to see them, but if we have to stop lines, cars throughout the line for pickup, it will only make the process longer. So please work with us as we work with you. And above all else, please be kind. It is a strenuous process to get your students in the car safely. We want to make sure that we are kind and respectful to everybody. And here's just the pickup map, very similar to the drop-off map, where you will go all the way through the parking lot until you are instructed to stop and get in your car or pick up your student. The checkpoints for walking will also be the same, so please do not pass those signs. We will notify you that we see you, and we will get you your student as soon as possible. Please remember that our students are watching everything we do, and we want to make sure we set a positive example for our students. After school intervention, if your child partakes in after school intervention, times may change, locations may change now that we are on campus, so please be aware of that. You will be communicated that information if times or locations change. And as I said before, you may have more questions. I'm happy to answer them, but I will also be sending out invitations via Sign Up Genius shortly for our tours March 15th. They will be small in size to prevent too many people walking through classrooms at one time, and to ensure we can socially distance, but please look for that email coming out shortly. And above all else, thank you so much for everything you've done over this past year to ensure your students are educated. We appreciate you so much more than you will ever know. We know it's been very difficult for parents and families, and we appreciate this so much, and we are so excited to have our students back, and we cannot wait for March 22nd. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out. And as always, Sharks, stay classy and don't forget to smile.